Okay, welcome. I'm going to walk you through my system for connecting with your inner child and doing the inner work, meeting your inner needs in a way that you can incorporate throughout your day, throughout your life, and to really start changing and healing and having an easier time choosing your energetic state, right? Having an easier time being present for the reality of your life, because being very present for the reality of our life is everything. That is where we actually get to play, to co-create, to really invite in the reality we want to be living in, the willingness to go into the unknown so that we can bring about something new in our life. And so this is how I really deal with and look at those patterns that are kind of keeping us in something that we don't want, right? Keeping us in this cycle, right? So this can look like a lot of different things. It's different for everybody, but this practice is useful for everyone, really. It's just useful. It's really freaking useful. So get ready to, go inward, to dive in, to be with your inner child. The system that I'm going to be teaching you is something that you will be able to use in your daily life in a more casual, I guess we could say, way. You'll be able to apply this differently later in your day-to-day life. But I want to kind of come into this space and into this video letting you know that the journey we're about to go on, can bring up a lot of emotion, right? So while I'm going to be teaching you a more bite-sized practice that you can use in life, first we're going to just actually go inward, and that might bring up some emotions. It might trigger some things in you. So follow your intuition, right? Feel your breath, be here with this video, and, take some time aside for this where you can maybe journal a little bit afterwards, or just have some quiet time with yourself so that you're really caring for yourself and not rushing this process. Okay, so because I know some people probably visit their inner child every day, and some of you maybe have never done it before, so trust your pacing. If you've never visited your inner child before, it's really, really normal for a lot to come up, and actually, when our nervous system starts to feel safer, more will come to the surface, right? That's been held. And so it's ready to kind of like a wound expressing, right? So sometimes things feel a little bit worse before they feel better. But, get in the comments, share, support each other. There's also a lot of joy and a lot of beauty that can come up from going inward like this. So let's get into it. So first, what I want to do is just feel your breath in this moment. The way I guide meditations is I don't want you to feel any pressure to do it a certain kind of way. You can come in and out of this, right? You are safe. You can pause. You can keep your eyes open if that feels more comfortable, right? There's so many ways to tune in. But I really invite some awareness right now. So feeling into, okay, this is my breath. This is what my breath feels like. This is the earth. This is the ground, right? You can kind of adjust. I'm going to adjust right now so I can feel both of my feet on the ground. Feeling those nice deep breaths. Maybe sighing out some stuff. Sometimes our body just wants to make a little bit of noise and really sigh and release. You can roll the shoulders up and down, crack your neck. Ooh, that was a good one. Okay, get nice and comfortable. Okay, like maybe scratch your head a little bit, massage your jaw. Still feeling your breath. And if you would like to close your eyes, you're totally invited to do so. Really settling into some kind of seated or laying down position that feels really easeful, feels good in your body. Let's take another nice deep belly breath and let it all go. Do a couple more deep breaths like that, and you're invited to really let the exhale come down through your body, down through the bottoms of your feet and into the earth. So imagine this like release. Ooh, feels good. And even as you return to normal breath, just feeling your breath, noticing the sensations, the sensation of the air, the sensation of your being, of your shoulders, of your body. Beautiful. Now visualize yourself outside in a forest. There's trees around you and soil beneath the soles of your feet. Breathe in that fresh forest air. You feel that moist, just delicious soil beneath the soles of your feet, the soft grass. Maybe it's even like it rained maybe recently, or it's early morning, and you go up and touch one of the trees and you feel the bark, and it's just a little bit damp, right? You know that feeling on bark? Oh, you feel that texture on your palm and fingertips. And you feel the tree, right? Just really even maybe bringing your body against the tree, hugging the tree, right? And feeling its energy. The roots going down into the soil. And the branches that reach up and out to the sky. And even if your thoughts are wandering or you feel really distracted, this is just a reminder that that's okay. This is an invitation. Trust that, you can always just tune back in to your breath, to your body, to my voice, right? There's no pressure. You're not doing it wrong, right? You get to just be who you are, where you are right now. Breathing. So beautiful, beautiful. And so you begin to walk this path in the forest, all this life around you, this fresh air. And you walk deeper and deeper down this path, deeper and deeper into the forest. Breathing. You feel as you walk deeper into this forest, a state of relaxation. Your head and scalp feel more relaxed, your shoulders relax, your jaw, your abdomen relaxes as you breathe and walk deeper and deeper down this path. Eventually you come to a riverbed and you can see and feel this water. Flowing. You feel your feet on the earth as you come closer and closer to the riverbed. Breathing. And then you feel your feet right in that place where the water and the land meet. And you feel the water running over your feet, rushing over your feet. And you can also still feel the earth, the ground. You're welcome to simply stand here between the water and the land, or if it feels really good, you can just feel yourself jumping into the river and letting the water wash over you. It's clearing, clarifying, and just so releasing. Like a weight being lifted off of you. You can finally just breathe deeply. There's nowhere else to be, nothing else you need to be doing. You get to just relax into it and let it all go. Let the water wash over you. Let yourself float a little bit. And then coming back to that riverbed, the edge where the water and the land meet. Just standing there and letting that water wash over your feet. Feeling your breath. And check in with your body, with your breath. Imagine this light going through your spine, through your entire central nervous system. And then when you feel ready, you can look down to your left and see that your inner child is standing here with you. And so you breathe and look down and see them here with you. They might be any age, a baby or all the way to a teenager, whatever comes forward first. There's no wrong answers. Simply meet this child where they are. You're not here to change or fix them in any way. You are here to witness. So whatever child, whatever version of your inner child is here, even if it's multiple versions, take some time just to let her or him, let them run the show a little bit. What does she want to do? What does your inner child want to do? Do they want to play? Do they want to be held in your arms? Do they want to rest? Do they want to show you something? Let's take a minute of just being here. Be doing some energy healing. Just take a minute being here with your inner child. And if you haven't yet, you're invited, if it feels good, to really bring your inner child into your arms, holding them close, meeting them on their level, giving them a nice big hug and telling them that you love them, that you are here for them, that she's safe with you. And if there's any feelings coming up, maybe your thoughts are wandering or not, maybe there's like some resistances or anything like that, just tune into your body. If there is a situation or something coming to mind, something being brought forward, there's no need to ignore it. Let what wants to come forward, and then tune into the sensation associated in your body. Like, what are you feeling right now? In your chest, in your torso. Just breathe into the sensations that are here right now. Holding space for those sensations, lovingly, non-judgmentally, allowing them as you breathe. And then ask your inner child if it feels good for you right now. You can ask your inner child to bring you actually, I'm feeling into something else. Tuning into you all. Feel your breath. Hold your inner child. You know what's coming forward? I actually want you to feel into a situation in your current day life. Something that's alive for you right now. Something that you have a lot of resistance around, or, something that maybe is stressing you out, or it's on your mind a lot, right? Something that you're maybe worried about, or like it could also be something you want to happen and it's not happening. You feel stuck or whatever. We all have something, right? So whatever situation is happening right now in your life that's most alive for you, I actually want you to go there. Okay? And so this thing that's bringing up a lot of resistance for you, or a lot of like tense feelings, come into that sensation in your body. So when you imagine this thing that's been on your mind, that's plaguing you in some way, what is the sensation in your body? If you're not a very embodied person, that's okay. Just kind of experiment with it, right? And if you just feel numbness, observe that, right? You're not here to judge, you're not here to change, you're here to witness, you're here to observe. If you do have an obvious sensation, go to that place. Where is it in your body? And what is the quality of this sensation? What does it feel like? Breathe into it. We're not trying to shrink it, we're not trying to change it. In fact, kind of the opposite. I want you to really hold space for it, almost amplifying it, allowing it to be what it is so that we can experience it. So we're just going to sit with that feeling for a moment, and you can still check in with your breath, check in with your feet on the earth as you do this. And notice, like, if this sensation were to move, like, what is the quality of it? How does it move? And you can even experiment with bringing the sensation more into your body. What does it do to your face? What does it do to your breath? What does it do to your shoulders, right? Your hands? Like, what is the expression of this sensation? Really bringing that through your being. And then asking, does this sensation want to say anything? And no, don't overthink it. Just blurt it out. What does it want to say? Just allow it to say something. I'm going to tune into my current sensation and see what it says. Ooh. Mine was, I don't like being in trouble. Ooh. I get something different every time, right? So whatever's coming up for you, there's no wrong answers. And now we're going to ask, like holding space for this sensation, like almost imagine that you could hold it, you could experience it in front of you. And breathing and getting really intimate with this sensation. I want you to ask, what do you want? Like on a deep level. And this needs to be something that a 2-year-old could want, something really basic. What does this sensation want? Kind of breathe into that for a moment. Okay, so for me, my current one that's coming up is belonging. Like I want to feel love and belonging. So check in with what yours is. Some common examples are wanting to be safe, wanting to be loved, wanting attention, wanting to feel like you're okay, like you're accepted, that you're worthy, that you know that's the attention one as well. Most everything kind of our childhood wounds, at least, usually boils down to safety, belonging, and worthiness, right? So it's usually something in that arena, right, like, what does this sensation want on a very basic level? To rest, to be held, to be safe, to be loved, to belong. Attention. Attention is a core basic need, right? So feeling into that, what is yours wanting? What is your sensation wanting on a deep level? And then validate. This is really key. We need to validate this sensation. And if your inner child is still here with you, because you might find that these things are connected. We just connected with the inner child, right? I want you to kind of validate. Okay, it makes sense. It makes sense to be scared or angry or upset or whatever resistance is there. Validate, validate, validate. And if you want to validate even deeper and it calls to you, you can also ask the inner child to show you when this happened in their experience. So this current day situation that you're tapping into, you can ask the inner child, like, has this come up before? Is there something you want to show me? So I'll let you tune into that. Maybe that your inner child takes your hand, and as you breathe, she brings you somewhere. Another time that you had this need, you had this sensation in your body. Maybe you can even envision her just walking you to a doorway and taking you there and seeing what comes forward. Good. And observing what she went through or what's coming up for her or for him, this inner child. Breathing with that. And validate her in that moment, like as if you as an adult could come into this memory, could actually insert yourself in this memory. Meet your inner child where she's at. And validate her. It makes sense. I'm sorry that people weren't always listening to you, right? I'm here. I'm here to listen. I believe you. I love you. You're safe with me. You belong with me. You have my attention, right? Tell her she matters and that what she has to say and what she feels matters to you. It does. It matters to you. And take your time letting her say and do and feel like wherever she's at. Great. And now what you're going to do, without trying to fix her, without trying to change her, you're going to come to the inner child and you're going to give her that core need as a gift in your body. So again, not to try to modify her behavior. She gets to feel however she wants to feel. It's totally okay. But you know there's this core need, so tap into that core need, whether it was safety or love or whatever came up for you. And then breathing, I want you to imagine that core need was a character in your body. So, for example, if the core need coming forward for you is safety, I want you to breathe and imagine, what is safety in my body? Is it like a relaxed shoulders? What does my breath do? What do my hands do? What does my face do? Right? Or if it's attention that your inner child is wanting, what is attention? If I was the character of attention, what is that in my body? What do my arms do? What does my chest do? What does my face do? I want you to really bring that into your body. So for me right now, what's coming forward is a layer of my belonging wounds. That's what's present for me in my current day reality. There's always layers and layers. So this is one that's coming forward for me right now. And so for me, I'm feeling like I want to give her belonging. So if I were to bring belonging into my body as a character, I think that would feel like this. Like a really tender hug. And so come up with whatever shape, whatever movement, whatever breath, face, everything that feels like this core need in your body. And then breathe into that and just embody it as a gift. Something that you're giving to her in your nervous system, in your breath, in your body. And you can also imagine giving her this thing in whatever way feels good. So if it's safety and you feel really safe in your bed, like go to your bed, or even just imagine yourself with your inner child in bed, like whatever really brings that about for you in your experience right now, in your breath, in your body, just go there with it. Take a few moments here, just playing with embodying that core need. Beautiful. And giving that to yourself, to that sensation that we tapped into, giving it to the inner child. Embodying the character of that core need. And breathing. Beautiful, beautiful. And if you haven't done so already, you are welcome to slowly open your eyes to just keep embodying that that core need. You know, playing with it a little bit, finding it in your breath, in your shoulders, and reminding yourself too. You can even bring your hands to your chest if that feels good, or even your stomach, and just reminding yourself and your inner child that you're right there. You're right there for them. You're right there with her. She's within you. And she's safe, and that she's held and she's cared for. And that you are committed to her, that you're here for her. And that you care what she thinks, you care about her. And then also maybe even vocalizing that core need you identified, vocalizing something that feels good in that arena. So for example, along the belonging side of things, I want to tell her, like, you're always invited. I love you. I want you around. I think you're amazing. And you always belong here. You always belong. And so maybe if yours is safety or attention or love or anything like that, just maybe saying, if you can speak out loud, that feels really good. Just speaking to your body right now in this moment and to your inner child, something that you want to tell her, that you're here for her in that way, that you're committed to providing that need for her inside of yourself. So I'll give you a moment to do that. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, now opening your eyes again and stretching out and just kind of sighing, maybe shaking it out a little bit. So I want to really lay out for you how to incorporate this into your life, because it's not every day probably that you're going to be going on a meditation journey. Like a half-hour meditation journey might not be in the cards for you every day, and that's okay, because there's other ways to really allow this to change our nervous system, to change our reality. So what I recommend, and this works really well for the people who implement it, is to find within yourself a specific movement, almost like a dance movement, that you use as a key code for this core need. So for example, for me, what I just discovered right now, belonging, something like this. So I'm going to turn that into a really specific movement in my body. And so for me, that's going to be my belonging move, okay? I've gone on journeys like this in the past where my inner child really needed attention. And so I'll come up with a move like this. That was my attention one. That's what attention feels like in my body. So I come up with a little move, right? Or maybe you really needed some other form of love or validation or safety. And I want you to just not overthink it, but find a move. And the move doesn't have to be perfect. You get to literally just decide that this, or whatever move you pick, is your somatic key code into this core need. Almost like a spell. Like you're just deciding, you're putting your intention on it and declaring that this move is me giving that to myself, right? Is me meeting that core need within myself, okay? So once you have the move, another thing I like to do is find an exaggerated version of it and a miniature version of it, okay? So just to use my example, an exaggerated version would be which is really fun to do. It's good to have a fun, exaggerated version. And then come up with a mini version, one that if you were around other people, they wouldn't even know. Okay, so I'll come up with that as an example for myself. Yeah, something like that. Like maybe maybe it could be even more covert. Maybe I just have my arms folded and I'm like, just a little. So find that in your body, find that little mini version. Here's another example. This is my big exaggerated version of attention for myself. And then a little mini one is kind of like, actually I don't even use the hands sometimes. I just do like this little movement, okay? So once you find the exaggerated version and the mini version, now your task is to play with that all the time. Because if you have this core wound, a lot of times what's happening is it's kind of playing on the background throughout your life. And this is changing the way you think and changing the way you make decisions and all kinds of things. So what we want to do is like kind of bypass the mind. Like we don't want to have to only do this from a cognitive level. We want to just give this to our body, to our inner child. And so now that we've made this decision that this is the move, we've made that connection, you get to just do this. And so the best thing to do is wake up in the morning and like do the move, right? But I will be so honest with you, I healed so much shame in my body by giving myself attention. And a big way that I did that was through a movement. And what I would do, it was actually like a very intense 3 days where all day, every day, and I was doing other work. Like I was still functioning. I was around people. I was doing my work. But every chance I got, I was bringing in the movement, saying, hey, inner child, I'm still here. Here's the movement. Here's that core need in my body. And when I had a little bit more downtime, maybe I'd go a little deeper and really visit her. But the thing that really did it was coming into my body, was giving her that movement. And for like 3 days, it was pretty much every 5 minutes. It was like throughout the day. I was like, oh my God, I feel more resistance. I feel more shame. I feel more shame. It's like coming to the surface. But I knew for a fact that my shame was an illusion, that inherently, you know, this is where kind of like a faith comes in. And I'm actually not religious, but I'm spiritual, right? And so there was like a faith in the divine and in God, and that I am an extension of that. And that faith allowed me to move through the darkest parts of that shadow, the darkest parts of that wounding, of like, no, I know that at my core essential nature is something beautiful. And that allowed me to be present for what wanted to come up. And every time I felt any kind of something, any kind of guilt, any kind of shame, any kind of resistance, and now, you know, maybe like this belonging wound, any kind of rejection, any kind of nervousness, right? Like every time I feel that, it's a reminder to give myself that movement. To just do it like every 5 minutes. I'm so serious. And then over time, it changes your state of being, and you don't have to do it all the time. And what's interesting is actually instances of feeling the block, of feeling really unsafe or really ashamed or whatever it is, instances of feeling the block become more obvious because it's not your state of being anymore, right? It's not just this like refrigerator hum happening in the background. And that can sometimes make people feel like they're going backwards because stuff is coming to the surface, and then they're more aware of it, and it feels stronger. But actually, it's like a lot of us are just kind of adapted to this way of being, and you're starting to change that. And you get to trust yourself, you get to trust the flow of life, of what's coming forward for you, and then keep meeting that need. And if you feel a lot of resistance to meeting the need in your body, it's likely because you need more validation. Validation is so important because our system will try to stay suffering if we don't feel heard, because it's like we need people to know that it's bad. Like when we fundamentally don't feel validated or seen or heard, there is a tendency, like a subconscious tendency, to sort of want things to go poorly so that we can say and feel within ourselves like, see, look, it's not fair, it's not okay. And this is actually perfectly legitimate. Validating you. But you don't want to live like that, right? No, you want your power back. You don't want life to be that way, not really. So if you're finding like that you're still stuck, that you're not really able to meet these needs in your body, go to simple validation. Like, meet yourself where you are at. Meet your inner child where they are at. And allow her to be angry or sad or whatever. And actually, if you can do this with someone who sees you in your highest, that is really, really valuable. So if you're in any kind of mentorship or transformational container, maybe even like a really good therapist, like somebody who sees your health and sees your power and respects you, has reverence for you on that level, let them also witness this wound and validate it. Because that is so transformative. Like, you can do that in sisterhood, right? And not in this like, not because we are always seeking that out in our connections, but it sometimes doesn't go as deep as it could. It can instead just turn into like, oh my God, yes, that sucks. Oh my God, yes, that sucks. And it's kind of this thing that it doesn't have transformative properties. but we still seek it out, and it's part of how we bond with people, and it's part of how we connect. It's like, oh, doesn't this suck so much? But then it's not transformative. So what's the difference there? It's that you need somebody who genuinely has met themselves deeply enough, right? Has met their own shadows deeply enough and their own power that they're able to hold space for you, and they're able to see you in your power, and they're able to hold like a container, like a calm, beautiful, validating, non-judgmental space for your wound to be witnessed. So to where they can look you in the eyes and say, it wasn't right. What happened wasn't your fault. It makes sense that you're angry. Right? And that is really, really transformative, to just have that witnessed and have that validated by another human. But ultimately, it's happening within you. You're having that power to deeply meet yourself and to deeply validate yourself on that level. And from there, you get to realize that you have the power to meet those core needs in your body, in your being, and ultimately in the way that you take action and the way that you live your life. So that is my system for it. And so if you want to implement it, just, maybe jot down or take a video of your movement so that you know what it is, right? You can put up little reminders, and you can just start tuning in that way, bringing awareness to yourself, to your day, to your body, to your breath, and really actively going for it. That's what's going to start to create shifts within you, is you really tuning into yourself on a regular basis, offering yourself this movement. And if the mind is going off and the resistances won't stop and you're having trouble doing it, go back to the validation, let yourself be witnessed, let yourself be, let yourself feel what you're feeling, and really hold space for that. And this is just a really foundational place to start. It's a really foundational practice, and it's the basis for then also more easily being able to choose your energetic state, to be really present where you are for reality as it is, and to really safely let reality be a mirror for you in a fun way, in a good way, right? So there's a lot of potential here, and I hope this was helpful for you. Comment, message me, let me know how this went for you. I hope this was something eye-opening and transformative for you. And thank you so much, and so much love to you all. Bye.